And so our next game on the card is Encased. And Encased is available on PC. It is going for $29.99 USD. And you can pick this one up through Steam, Humble Bundle, Fanatical, and GOG.com. Now, before I do begin my gameplay of this, I do want to take the time to let you know that the following game, Encased, uses flashing lights and or images that can be an issue for those who have photosensitivity issues, even if you've never had them before. So viewers' discretion is advised. And I'd also like to take the time to thank the developers and publishers of Encased for providing me with a free copy of the game to play on tonight's stream. So let's go ahead and dive into this. Now, this one I was really getting into when I was doing my indie game moment for it. So I can see too that the audio is not back on. So let's turn the audio on. But I was really getting into this one. So we're gonna start a new game so you guys can see the game from the beginning. I think I selected Journey, so we're gonna do Journey.
1971. We woke up in a different world, where the Cold War ended along with the Vietnam carnage. All because of the Dome. The Dome. A territory full of anomalous artifacts, phenomena, and organisms. We still don't know what it is. An alien city? Some kind of a testing ground or storage? Whatever it is, no living thing trapped under the Dome can escape it. Yet even this did not stop the research. The major powers created the Cronus Megacorporation to develop and explore the Dome. Its secrets became a lucrative business. The Spires station was built on top of the Dome to export the artifacts and import supplies and personnel. The city of Crystal Sands grew at the foot of the Dome, eventually becoming a major transportation hub. All this required thousands of employees, and there was no shortage of candidates. Romantics, pragmatists, and adventurers of all trades swarmed recruiting centers around the globe, seeking jobs at Cronus. You were one of those people. In 1976, your application was approved, and you went under the Dome towards the future. Whether a good one or a bad one, only time will tell.
Okay, so let's go ahead. I kind of know who I want to play as already, but we'll go through each of the characters. This is who I'm gonna be playing as. Oh, wait a minute, I didn't see Margaret. I might do Margaret and trade. She's a redneck. Oh, wow. So there's quite a few characters you can choose from that are pre-built. Or you can create your own character. For the sake of sanity and for the sake of time, we're just going to play a character that's already pre-built for the sake of sanity. Normally, I would have done a custom build character, but because, like I said, because we're a little strapped on time, we'll just play with a pre-made. Interacting with different characters is an important part of the game. To start a dialogue, click on the character, and if they are set to talk to you, yeah, character creations can eat up a lot of hours, especially because this is an RPG. So yeah, this would eat up a lot of time for me to create a character. For conversations, you can find out valuable plot information, clues, and even receive tasks. Choose your lines carefully. Careless words can cause resentment or provoke a fight. Okay.
A guy wearing thick spectacles thrusts out a sweaty hand.
Monty James, Silverwing.
He glances down at your badge.
Ah, it's you. I found your file extremely interesting. And your CV, wonderful. Inspiring, really. When I had the opportunity to look over the files of my future colleagues, I couldn't resist. I don't want to sound boastful, but silver level clearance has its advantages.
Monty winks. Monty makes a ring with his thumb and forefinger.
You were number 63,784 on the waiting list, but you were lucky enough to get into the dome after only 16 months. Besides that, zero, nada, absolutely nothing. You're a dark horse for both the Foundation and myself. How exactly did you end up in this wing?
Blue Ring. Tell him you're a good mechanic and the dome is where people with your skills are most needed. Answer that you're good at computers and the most advanced hardware in the world is to be found under the dome. Admit you're fond of technology, comics, sci-fi, and thought you dreamed of finding yourself in such a place. I'm gonna say I'm a good mechanic.
Answer makes the silver smile.
Oh, yes. Ooh, you'll never guess who the dome's official heavy equipment suppliers are. Jupiter Moon and MM Trucks. I'll bet 100 combons you'll be working 7 days a week.
An uncomfortable silence rises between you, and Monty abruptly changes the subject. He taps the narrow illuminator panel with one finger.
Look, there's a storm rising. The lightning is strange. Green. Should lightning be green? This is my first sandstorm.
Well, I'm not silver wing, I'm blue, so...
The orange is dressed in a new jumpsuit. The shiny badge on his chest reads, Quentin Bisley, Laborer. He's side-eyeing the screen skeptically. Despite his tired, grim expression, his gaze is open and friendly. However, the general impression is unmistakable. There's something frightening about Bisley.
We're gonna leave him be. I think this is a blue.
A man with a mustache and a blue jumpsuit is standing at the window, studying the construction site below through the occasional break in the clouds. His badge reads Igor Patan, Planner. The blue taps on the glass with one finger and gestures you to come and take a look. Seems like he doesn't speak English.
And I don't have 20 in influence, so... can't do that one.
A tall woman is watching an ad playing on the monitor, arms crossed. The polished to a shine badge on her black overalls reads Elsa Olafson, Security Service. She glances at you and offers her hand in a businesslike manner.
And thank you for that raid, Nesting Dolls. I'm sorry I have notifications turned off and stuff. But thank you for that raid. Welcome on in, Nesting Dolls and Raiders. Hope you all are having a fantastic evening. For those of you that are new, welcome. I am Ready Set, and this is Ready Set Indie Games. And on my channel, I predominantly cover indie games. So 98% of the time, you will see indie games on my channel. And I typically stream Monday through Saturdays now. From the times vary. Mondays and Wednesdays is 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then Tuesdays, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday is 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're doing a late night stream because I didn't get a chance to stream earlier today. But I hope you all are well, and thank you for that shout out, Draconic Dude. Death's Door, wow. How are you liking Death's Door? I see a lot of people, I heard a lot of good things about Death's Door, so how are you liking Death's Door?
Greetings. Please take all necessary precautions. By that I mean, don't turn your back on him.
Elsa nods at the orange.
I might have to check it out, because I hear a lot of people really like Death's Door. Wow, I might have to look into it, because a lot of people are saying it's a really good game. Like, It was one of those games because there's a lot of games that are coming out, and it was one of those games that like kind of like came out of nowhere for me, and I hadn't even known it was coming out. I think the first time I actually heard about it was when Garden of Indie played it. That was the first time I think I had heard of Dev's Door, is when he played it, and I was like, wow. And then a lot of people were like, yeah, it's a really good game, so I might have to look into it. Yeah, that's what I kept hearing too, Dracon, and that it's a really good game. Currently in my stream, we're playing Encased. Of course, if you are interested in or you like what you see of the game, if you click on that link there, it will give you a Google Doc of all the games that I'm playing this week, where you can get those games from, the platforms they're available on, the price if there is a price, and again, it gives you the link to get to the platform of your choosing. So it does all the legwork for you. And we are currently into our third game, which is Encased, which is a sci-fi RPG.
I just follow orders. Even if his crime was embezzlement, I have to keep him cuffed. Those are the rules.
Olison shrugs in a sharp, mechanical way, as if racking the slide of an assault rifle.
I actually really like the narrator's voice in this because it reminds me of like an audiobook. Like a lot of my audiobooks, this narrator has the voice of an audiobook reader.
Our friends from the administration didn't deign to inform me about this man's record. Could be I'm escorting a serial killer. It's corporate policy, you know.
She gives the Silver a vengeful look.
And because we're not a Silver Wing, we can't get the information. And then we have...
The thin, pale young woman is sitting at the window, leaning against the illuminator. The glass is slightly fogged with her breath. She turns to you. Her shiny badge reads Tomoko Kimura, physiologist.
We've crossed the border. No way back now. Even traveling by the funicular wasn't so thrilling.
The white presses small hands to her blushing cheeks.
You were thinking, why have no children been born under the dome? I've got a working hypothesis, but I'm not ready to share it yet.
She says softly, as if answering a question you didn't ask.
We have maybe a good perception. Maybe we will ask Kimura if she sees the dark stain on the outer surface of the dome.
Kimura peers through the glass in the direction you indicate.
Oh, that's the aircraft that crashed into the dome during the first expedition. I believe that's a wing fragment, and there's some white canvas. What do you think that is? Maybe a parachute?
The white shakes her head, bewildered.
I just can't believe it. It's all true. We're on our way to meet the future.
Ask what she meant by we've crossed the border.
Kimura shoots you a surprised look.
You're familiar with the details of the briefing, right? To put it simply, the dome is a selectively permeable environment.
The white draws an invisible hemisphere in the air.
Inorganic objects may exit the dome without difficulty, but any living creature dies if transported back to the outside world. That's why we're all stuck here for an indefinite period of time.
Okay, science. Okay, so we have a really good science, it looks like. Propose a hypothesis. The lack of fertility in women under the dome is related to the field activity.
Kimura listens without interrupting, as if considering your every word.
It's quite possible. I would like to set up an experiment to test this in practice.
She cuts off, abruptly.
Okay.
You exchange glances with the rapidly blushing Kimura.
Not in that sense. I mean, yes, in that sense, but it is science, you know? It's quite serious.
She purses her lips shyly.
This experiment requires at least one man.
Well, you know, I mean, that's rude. That's rude, Kimura.
Kimura blushes even more.
I mean, oh drat, you've got it all wrong. I meant to say that one of the participants in the experiment should be a man, and the other should be a woman, which should be obvious.
For science, right? We're gonna do the do for science, apparently. Can we, like, leave out of here?
Stopping by the door's porthole, You watch as the ground slowly approaches. It looks brown-black through the tinted glass, and smoky blue at the horizon. It almost seems like the clouds are pulling apart there. Your eye is drawn to the cluttered eastern section of the dome, where you see a block of warehouses and something resembling an observation deck. The real dome doesn't resemble its image from the ads at all. There are no Snow White cities or vast highways to be seen here. Looking more closely, you can make out a single lonely road leading north. A few sheds, a radar installation, and the glittering antenna of a radio tower emerge from the mists. Yes, engineers will have plenty of work here. Just as you're about to move away from the window, you notice a whirlwind beginning to form above the ochre plain. The gathering storm drifts unhurriedly above the desert, a crown of green lightning flashing at its core. Clearly no ordinary weather phenomenon. It must be one of those anomalies. You freeze by the window, unable to avert your gaze.
Stand up on your tiptoes and try to make out the buildings down below. Stay that way until landing. Stay where you are, trying to see if you can spot the mysterious forefather structures until landing. Stay at the window and watch the whirlwind till the landing. Join the other group members. Join the other members. That's not what I was supposed to do.
You return to the window.
Okay, we're gonna do this. There we go.
Blurred by clouds of dust, appear behind the greenish glass of the porthole. The capsule shudders as the braking devices engage.
Okay. Oh. In Encased, you can rotate the camera using E and Q cues, as well as zoom in and out by pressing the brackets. The camera is not tied to a character. You can move it using the W. I don't know why they did WSAD instead of WASD. You can you can move it by using the WASD keys. To return to the standard view, click tab. Got it. Did you get the bonus last week? She's getting stopped.
Come here. Come on now, or you'll miss everything.
A cheerful man in a white lab coat grabs you by the sleeve.
Okay.
A badge reading Ludovico Nuzzi, scientific analyst, export department, dangles loosely on his clean uniform, which still smells pungently of washing powder.
Look over there.
He points upward with a sharp, wide gesture and hands you his field binoculars.
Take the binoculars and look where he's pointing is what I would do.
You raise the binoculars to your eyes. Under fourfold magnification, the whirling cloud above the rust-colored plains looks even stranger. Its core glows with flickering green light and flashes rhythmically, and that rhythm seems to form a complicated pattern. Nuzzi bends close to your ear.
Fascinating. Do you want me to bring some filters? If we intercept the red and blue spectrums, we'll see something amazing. It's like a signal, some kind of message.
Let's do recon. It says we have recon, so I'm gonna do recon.
Without tearing your gaze away from the binoculars, you turn around slowly, studying the dome's horizon. It's somewhat unexpected that the dome looks horribly empty. Your eyes find some construction pits dug directly in the sand, and concrete blocks laid beside them. There are almost no roads, or not sealed ones. Only one highway with yellow surface marking stretches among the sand drifts.
Ask him what scientific analysis export department
The
means.
scientist looks blankly at you, then down at his lab coat.
Ah, this? This?
He lets out a blaring laugh. Ludovico points at the building behind him.
I work in Concord Station, categorizing relics.
Okay.
My job is to classify them by rarity. Then the blues package them, silvers issue the documentation, and oranges move them to the cargo capsule. Just like the one you arrived in.
Nazi points upward.
Then the capsule takes the relics way up there, all the way to the spire, then to Crystal Sands by the funicular. They get auctioned off and turned into money. It's not like I endorse this, but we all like ourselves a good paycheck, right?
Yes, we do, we do.
He offers you his binoculars once again.
Do you want to have a look at the spire? It's amazing. But then, you can look at the spire anytime. Now that sandstorm, that's what's truly amazing.
Tell him you need to go.
Nazi looks from you to the capsule and to the landing terminal entrance. He flings his arms up.
Oh, mi scusi. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. You'd better get going or you'll be late for check-in. Your colleagues are already inside, and the storm is going strong.
Alright, Nest and Dials, and thank you again for that raid. Also, if you are not following Nest and Dials, please go ahead and give her a follow. She plays all types of games, including indie games as well. And if I remember correctly, I believe her streams are usually Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So please go ahead and give Nesting Dolls a follow and check out her streams.
Yeah, the storm is growing stronger.
The White mutters in fascination, eyes glued to his binoculars, which is fixed on the spinning whirl of clouds.
Oh, let's turn the camera. But you have a good night there, Nesting Dolls. And I will definitely try to make one of your streams in the future.
Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place.
So we're gonna play this to about 12:15 and then switch over to Teacup after that. And then from there, that will end our stream. We're gonna try to get done by 12:30. So throughout the game, you will perform various tasks, some of which lead you through the story, as well as others that reveal different aspects of life under the dome. You can always find out the task status and read the details in the data section. Okay, because this one I kind of want to play more of, so I'm probably going to bring this back in November, because I'm really liking this one a lot. The young blue is closely studying a communications schematic in his Sirius? A bundle of wires is hanging from an open fuse box nearby. He smells strongly of cheap cigarettes. His shiny badge says Chunyan Yun, Communications Engineer.
Good day.
What are you doing? I'm trying to calculate the optimal route for telecommunication cables. These cables connect the entire dome. Here at Concord, they form a hub and run up to the spire. This cable is the only thing connecting the dome to civilization, and if it happens to break... Therefore, my mission is to ensure a stable connection and secure line, which is impossible without proper documentation. The way they're doing it here is a shame. A person could do time from the back where I'm from. because we are part of the Blue Wing, so we can actually use Blue Wing abilities here. Mollify him. You arrive here to keep the local infrastructure from falling apart. Say that you don't think the point of his complaint. Kronos has created an impressive communication system indeed. Ask what about it is a sham in his opinion. Let's see. Yoon regards your respect. He puts the communicator away in his pocket and points at the bundle of cables. Look at this shoddy work. First, the wires aren't shielded. Second, the signal is fading. Third, clearly this was done in an awful rush. No matter how much of a rush there was to finish this, such negligence is unacceptable. But I am not surprised. This is the predictable result of using forced orange-winged labor. Do you have any questions for me? He fixes his collar when it's cutting into his neck. Ask his opinion about Concord. Say you've learned everything you wanted to know and won't be bothering him. Learn about Concord a bit. The idea itself is impressive, but the execution suffers some failures. It's obvious the capitalistic system is obsolete and cannot support such grand-scale projects. Okay. Thank you for understanding. I'm not used to getting distracted and sloppy, especially on such an important issue. He returns to the calculations on his screen. Okay.
Mr. Rayhead, would you bring me a cup of coffee, please? Colleague? Well, never mind.
Is Silver wearing thick... Oh, wait a minute. This is the guy we talked to in the elevator. A Silver wearing thick, glittering spectacles is sitting on an orange couch, nervously fingering his badge, which reads Monty James. A large suitcase rests at his feet with a leaflet about the dome perched on top.
Glad to meet you.
We already met. He looks up and studies your face with a squint. Ah, it's you. How do you like the inside of the dome? Say you're not ready to answer that yet. Not enough time has passed for you to form a clear impression, which is true. Say you expected something more. Say you find it fascinating and miraculous in every sense of the word. Monty stares moodily down at his suitcase. My first impression is unfortunately not very positive. They forgot to add my name to the new recruits manifest. Can you imagine? Offer to try and register him in the terminal. Are you for real? That would be incredibly kind of you. Maybe my optimism about this place and the people working here was justified after all. You evidently cheered them up quite a lot. Okay.
Come back again.
Hello, come up to the desk, please. I'll register you.
Okay.
A tall receptionist watches you from behind his desk with a bored, haughty look. He waves impatiently at you to approach. The employee glances at you indifferently. His upper lip is ever so slightly curled in contempt.
All new employees must register first thing. Come up to the desk, please.
The nameplate on the desk tells you you're talking with Dean Rayhead, administrator. The administrator slaps himself on the forehead.
Ah, I almost forgot the regulation pre-registration greeting. Just a second.
Rayhead produces a reel-to-reel tape recorder from beneath the desk, rewinds the tape to the beginning, and presses play. The speakers explode with a harsh, crackling sound, over which the tick-tick of a metronome slowly grows louder. Solemn music begins to play, and the administrator's face takes on a serious expression.
Dear employee, on behalf of the Cronus Foundation, I, Administrator Dean Rayhead, welcome you to your new life under the dome.
The administrator clears his throat and continues.
By joining our company, you choose the path of science and progress. You are among mankind's best, and we ask that you live up to this.
Dean squints down at the monitor.
Deserve this title. Do your job honestly. Obey the law. Respect your colleagues and...
The music fades, and the administrator finishes his speech.
And together we will build the best possible future for all mankind.
Dean puts the tape recorder away.
Now that we're done with the official greeting, I'll register you and upgrade your Selectron. Okay?
So you're ready and begin the registration.
Dean's hands hover over the keyboard. He gives you a nod. You spell out your first and last names and specify your wing, profession, and test results. The administrator's fingers fly across the keyboard as he enters your information into the Cronus database. Rayhet scans the computer screen.
So your position in the waiting list was 63,784. You've been assigned to Magellan Station. A special bus will bring you there after a series of briefings. Please pass me your Selectron so I can update the firmware.
Dean snaps the docking port of your pass to a recess in the casing of his computer. The administrator returns your Selectron.
Now you have first-level clearance for a Blue Wing employee. You have access to storage, the repair bays, and various workshops. Your Selectron also has a built-in universal key that opens the hatches accessing the air shafts.
Okay.
Dean continues.
All new employees have a short list of tasks to perform on arrival. Do you want to hear all the details or just the short version?
Say you'll be satisfied with the short version.
Rayhet snorts.
To make it short, get your uniform from storage, your weapons from the armory, pass the Psi abilities test, and complete your weapons training at the training zone. Then learn how to use the scanner, avoid anomalies, and properly catalog anything you observe. Last, go to the waiting room and wait for the bus to Magellan.
Okay.
Dean sits back in his armchair.
That's it. I hope there aren't any questions.
Rayhet claps his hands in satisfaction.
Great.
He reaches for the tape recorder, but thinks better of it.
Protocol calls for a little welcoming preamble, but dash it all, that's nonsense. Welcome to Concord Station.
As he's about to turn away, Dean suddenly remembers something.
Oh yes, I sent your mail to your Kairos. Check your new messages. Well, that's all, I think.
Okay, Kairos is its name. Kairos mail. Messages sent to you by various game characters are stored in the messages section of your Kairos. Messages from some employees, computers also end up there. All new messages are in the inbox tab, and after reading are moved to the archive tab. Okay. But we are going to go ahead and we're going to save our game. And we are going to stop the game there. And again, that is Encased. So Encased is going for $29.99 USD. It is available on PC through Steam, Humble Bundle, Fanatical, and GOG.com is where you can get this one. Probably so, because I think this just released, so it might not have any mods yet. But if you like what you saw of the game, if you click on this link here, it will take you to a Google Doc that will give you a list of all of the games that I am playing this week, where you can get those games from, the price if there is a price for the game, and again gives you the links to get and gives you the links to get to the platform of your choice. Of course, as always, if you cannot purchase the game, please go ahead and wishlist the game. Wishlisting the game does a lot for the developers. It allows for their games to end up in recommendations. If there's enough wish lists, sales, and reviews, it can end up on the new and noteworthy section of Steam and sometimes the front page of Steam. So when in doubt, please go ahead and wishlist it out. And again, I'd like to thank the developers of Encased for providing me with a free copy of the game to play on tonight's stream.